As you can tell, the versions are quite different from each other, although subtle. My engineering notes said with the first one that the music was too low and the voice was too high. And the one coming up, the voice is just the original singing without the processing done to it. On average, I probably do about 30 or more mixes before I finally come up with one that I'm happy with, enough to release. But these are just rudimentary ones to give you an idea of what can be done in the studio to a song to turn it from one thing into another.
Some fresh meat, and that is you. He's coming to get you, so you'd better look all around, above, behind, below, around, in front. You better run, you better run. There ain't nowhere to hide. He's gonna make a lunch out of your miserable hide. He's gonna make his lunch out of your miserable hide. But he's coming for you. He's coming. And there ain't nothing you can do. He's coming for you. He's coming, and there ain't nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. So dead to rights, so he's got you in his sights. Dead to rights, dead to rights. Meal of you today, a meal of you. night. He's gonna get you and slash you. He's gonna kill you and eat you. And he'll laugh his sick laugh. Scary but it's true, he's gonna get you. Scary but it's true, and he's gonna get you. Scary but it's true, he's gonna get you. Get you. Scary but it's true, he's gonna come for you. Gonna come for you. Come at you quick as a flash, and he can outrun you in a dash. His sprint is so fast that the naked eye can see. The naked eye can see he's coming to get you. Better you than me. Better you than me. Oh well, I say today. Coming for you. Coming for you, coming for you, coming for you, coming for you. He tries as he digests you inside. That's so sick.
So yeah, being a sound engineer is an art. It's like being another musician. I've said that. But instead of an instrument to play, you're the instrument of the levels, the sound effects, what goes in, what goes out, how it all fits, how it all edits, and all that stuff. So the end result can be a very different thing. Production is an art in of itself, and hopefully these give you an idea of the various art forms involved. Here's one more, a very, very, very stripped down mix of the song.
The predator, you're the looking for a fresh meat tray today. Looking for some fresh meat, and that is you. He's coming to get you, so you better look all around, above, behind, below, around, in front. You better run, you better run. There ain't nowhere to hide. He's gonna make a lunch out of your miserable hide. He's gonna make his lunch out of your miserable hide. But he's coming for you. He's coming, and there ain't nothing you can do. He's coming for you. He's coming, and there ain't nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. So he's got you in his sights, dead to rights. So he's got you in his sights, dead to rights, dead to rights. Meal of you today, a meal of you tonight. He's gonna get you and slash you. He's gonna kill you and eat you. And he'll laugh his sick laugh. Scary but it's true, he's gonna get you. Scary but it's true, and he's gonna get you. Scary but it's true, he's gonna get you. Get you. Scary but it's true, he's gonna come for you. Gonna come for you. Come at you quick as a flash, and he can outrun you in a dash. His sprint is so fast that the naked eye can't see. The naked eye can't see. He's coming to get you. Better you than me. Better you than me. Oh well, I see, I say today. Coming for you. Coming for you, coming for you, coming for you, coming
Oftentimes at the studio at the college, I felt like a kid in a candy store, um, because there was just so much cool equipment that I just don't own that I wish I did. Um, that I won't even get into for security reasons, but let's just suffice it to say it's really cool and really well secured. Um, and with the song "The Demon Seed," it actually just started out being Overkill the instrumental. Actually, it started out as being called "Scary Movie," um, which was just a rudimentary thing I created on piano, which I just was just messing around with the sound in the studio, and I liked the sound of the keyboard I had. And then I got these drum loops, and I thought they were pretty cool, so I stuck them on there. And and then I was mixing it. And then one day before my studio time was start, I had to set up the microphone for a studio thing for Wayne, for my class. And for the hell of it, I just started singing. And just singing and coming up with these ideas and ad-libbing and ad-libbing and ad-libbing and ad-libbing, and I just came up with these words. So pretty much as an afterthought, this is the song. I Love a Penguin, the words came after the song was done the same kind of way. So you never really know how things are going to come out in the studio or what you're going to come up with until you're done. And if you're creative and improvisational enough and experimental enough, you always manage to come up with something really interesting and exciting. So when I was in the studio, you couldn't get me out of it, and I couldn't wait to get in it. There were lots of times where I spent many a sleepless night at my house before I got to go into the studio and play. And that's basically the joy I had at the E13 studios at the college, making this music happen. I wanted to talk about um one of the best things that Nan did was introduce us to the Geek Fest collective, uh, and the Geek Fest thing. It was a like band for bands. It was like a Three Musketeers for bands and artists. We all kind of got together. It was like the Geek Fest Spam Collective, and there used to be meetings and a record label and all kinds of stuff. It kind of disbanded around 2000, I think, although others could say better than I can about that. Um, it was really cool when it happened. The holdout that's still around today is the phone number 510-BAD-SMUT, which is the telephone number for all live shows that happen kind of on a guerrilla basis at times. Because sometimes shows are done, shall we say, in the gray areas of legality, which is necessary considering there's less and less legitimate places to play. So if you can't play at a legitimate place, then do it wherever. So although the Geekfest people are all still doing music, Geekfest isn't really happening anymore. The last pseudo Geekfest thing that I'm aware of that happened was the Thrill House benefit, which ended up being the last time I saw Dory Tourette. But at least I saw him one more time before he died, so that was good. Very sad, and he's missed. And another thing I wanted to talk about was the sound engineering thing a little bit. It doesn't really exactly pertain to the band, but it does in a backhanded way. I've touched on before about not always being completely happy with the way other people did things, with exceptions. Like Flobby and Mark, and Mikey Malin, and the the dude from American Steel who did our Gilman demo. But it's one thing to try to explain to a producer and an engineer what you want and try to get them to give it to you to the best of their understanding, translating what you're saying as a musician. And it's another thing as the musician yourself being able to make it happen. And sometimes you don't really know how to explain what you want because you don't always know. Most of the time, the process of making the songs is what became how it happened. It wasn't decided before I started making it. So in that case, it was really cool to have access to a very well secured recording studio at the college for free by taking the class. And there were times I would start with one song thinking that that would be the song or songs that would end up on the class project CD, and then during the whole process I would end up coming with something else. To Your Headache was one of those deals. I just had the basic kind of whoopy drum loop thing that I had created in the spring of 2006, and by the fall of 2006 I had my bass at the studio, and I was like, oh man, I got this bass here, I got my bass, and I don't know what to do. So I just played the loop and just started going and stuff, right? And then oh, that's pretty cool. So I came back another day with a guitar and laid it down, and sort of at the last minute as an afterthought, I just did the vocals. Demon Seed came together like that too. It was like a studio project, and vocals were added at the last minute. Now, I mean, I could get into the technical details, but basically, engineering is pretty much just an art like being a musician. It's actually being a musician, and I think as a musician, when I'm doing it, which helps me communicate with other musicians pretty well, because I am one, so I can relate to musicians better than just, like a techno person could. No disrespect to them, just saying. So, I went to school. I went to school. I did a 2-year program. I have a certificate. There's pictures of me sitting around in the documentary probably somewhere of, well, if I leave that section in, which it probably will, of me, graduation photos. And that kind of thing. So, I studied like system interconnection and mic technique and, your basic principles, your basic rudiments, your music theory for recording, you have to learn the rudiments of something before you can dig around and do stuff. I mean, that it's sort of like the starting block. So, and then I went to Contra Costa College, where I got access to a studio, and I think the teacher told me I logged in like 203 hours my first semester, and probably about the same the second. And I probably slacked off a bit my third semester and only did like 150 or something. You couldn't get me out of there. It was just playtime, man. It was like, wee, toy to play with, drum set, so I played drums and played bass and played guitar and played keyboards, and I'd have Kenneth come in. He came in the fall of 2007 when the class wasn't happening, and I was just in a MIDI class. I mean, not MIDI, Pro Tools class. I took a MIDI class like 10 years ago. And at the same semester, Robert and Phaedra came, And Robert and Phaedra played, along with Kenneth, Four Enclosed Walls, which ended up being an OPEC song. On that song, which I probably elaborated to, I pretty much didn't play anything, but what I did was production and post-production. I messed with, tape backwards and effects processing and all that kind of stuff. I've used flanger on vocals. I've used reverbs. I've used just about anything that sounds cool. And played around with mixing and played around with, all the things. There's basically different elements to mixing, which would be like your panning, which is where everything is left, right, and center, and forwards and back of the mix. And you can do forwards and back with reverb, and you can pan things, and you can do things where it's like really in your face by having like, say, the vocals instead of just center, which is common. On one of my songs, I actually did the vocals clean in the center and had it really distorted and crazy on the outside, which actually is the demon seed. And that created a whole different effect. On the documentary, there is a section that seems to be about 28 minutes long of me going through and playing through the process of one song, through the evolution and different mixes. And when I was trying different ideas out, made a tape. You listen to it in the car, listen to it at home, listen to it on good speakers, bad speakers, blah blah blah. That's all true. And one thing that they have at the college that I don't have and wish I had is really good speakers to listen to, really good monitors. So my mixes at home, I don't have the ability to mix to that level because I just don't have those speakers. But I do the best I can, and hopefully it comes off well anyway. What else? Okay. Oh, a little bit more on the documentary on how I made it. I basically utilized everything I own at my disposal to make it happen, and made it here at my house. So there are, a do-it-yourself kind of mode, which ends up having its advantages and disadvantages. The advantages, it's cheap and I have full creative control. Disadvantages, I don't have a digital editing machine, and I'm at the mercy to outside noise on my recordings. So things happen like banging on the door, or rain, or honking horns, or whatnot that I can't control. Whereas in the recording studio, I can. It's a controlled environment and it's soundproofed, and I just don't have that here. Anyway, so what I basically did was I used this camcorder here that I'm pointing at. Sorry to point at you. That's rude. My bad. And